Brandon Adams has totally turned things around for himself in his career with a second victory over Sergey Bohachuk. This is and has been a situation where he had found himself to be in a position to raise his game, and I believe the Bohachuk camp thought that they would be able to take advantage of a man who hadn't been considered most recently. But I'll tell you this, Brandon has accomplished something big, and he should be rewarded. After this fight with Bohachuk, his record currently is 26-4 with 16 KOs. Their first meeting, he was able to stop Sergey. And when he stopped him, it raised his stock. But in this victory, it was a more measured victory because the 36-year-old super welterweight was kind of written off. Just because you have losses on your record doesn't mean that your career is done. So when he went into the Allegiant Stadium-based fight on the undercard of Canelo versus Crawford, Bohachuk was looking to avenge his previous loss against Adams. And that previous loss was a stoppage. But after facing Adams this go around, his record now has dropped to 26-3 with 24 KOs. And when you think about it, his victories have been consistent. His last loss being a majority decision loss against Virgil Ortiz Jr. back in August of 2024 in a bout that I thought that Sergey should have earned the victory, especially with 2 knockdowns over Ortiz. But Adams was supposed to be a different coin here. It was an opportunity for him to not only right the wrongs that happened the first go round, but to also achieve a victory over a respected super welterweight. However, this is what happened. Adams asserted himself. Sergey kept himself from being stopped, but he did not have the answers for Adams' attack. Brandon Adams fought in close, he fought from mid-range. He kept the pressure and the heat and the power turned up on 10 against Sergey. And though Sergey was willing to compete, there were instances where Adams was just too strong. And so he had to take care of himself more in certain instances to make sure that he didn't fall, because there were several times in the fight where he was rattled and his legs shook a little bit, but you could see where he was talking to himself through this fight. Adams attacked very well. The body work was very good. His shots up top, the hooking, looping shots that he knocked Bohachuk out with in the first fight, he still was able to land them, but the resolve of Bohachuk was much stronger in this go around. And you have to be a person to give credit to a man who shows such fortitude. The two men, there's a 6-year difference against the two where Adams is older. However, as far as the skill set, as far as the ability to fight, we just have to say that Adams is tremendously underestimated. So where does that leave him after this? Personally, I believe that Adams should be in a position to challenge one of the top tier fighters ranked in the top 10. He could upset someone, and that's one of the things that make you take note that people may not want to fight him, because Adams, who happens to be 5'8" with a 72-inch reach, shows a resolve that a lot of the fighters of today do not show. But he should be appreciated as fighters from a different generation were, when they are workmanlike. blue-collar fighters who bring their hard hat in their lunch pail. Salute to Brandon Adams, and shout out to the LDBC, Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Leave thoughts and let me know your thoughts about Brandon Adams. Peace to everyone, and everyone remain safe.